And I'm back with another one. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Daz, and this my journal. If you new here, like, comment, and subscribe. If you've been rocking with me for a while, I appreciate you. I'm gonna keep giving you game on a daily basis, if not daily, every other day. That being said, let's jump right into the topic. The first thing I want to talk about today is don't stop learning. Every day is a learning process. Do not stop learning. Do not feel like you know it all. Every single day is a learning process. Learn from your failures and your mistakes. Life is a process of learning and correcting. Don't let failures break you down. Learn and grow from it. A lot of times, I used to look at my failures or whenever I fall short and OD just bring myself down. And it's not good to bring yourself down whenever you make a failure or you make a mistake. I feel like the best thing for me personally was to actually look at my mistake or look at my failure and realize what I did wrong. What could I have changed for next time? Or what can I do in the future if anything like the situation or if this situation try to repeat itself? What can I do to change the reaction or the response? Better yet, the response that I'm gonna do next time. Because if I reacted to a situation before, the next time I'm not gonna react. I'm gonna respond to it. And that's what I talk about, just learning from your mistakes. A lot of people look at their mistakes and let it bury them. Do not let your mistakes bury you. This is life. When you play in a video game, right? I'm gonna break it down into an analogy. When you play in a video game, sometimes in a video game, you might die. I'm not gonna say you're gonna die in life, but I'm saying you're gonna die. What that means is sometimes if you got a goal, or not a goal, but if you're doing something and you fall short, that's like dying in a video game. But what you do in the video game, you get back up, you re-gear back up, whatever gear you needed, and then you go fight whatever, or you go do whatever you was doing before. So that's the same mindset you should have with things, but you do it from a different way. You say, damn, I died like this. So now when I go in there again, I'm going to do it like that. So I can kill that bull, so I can win whatever situation I was going through. And that's how you got to look at life. You can't just say, oh, I messed up. No, I messed up. What made me mess up? Why did I mess up? What's going on? What's my feelings? Get real with yourself. Learn yourself and stop lying to yourself. A lot of times we be lying. I used to lie to myself and say, oh, I just messed up. And I wanted to feel like everything wasn't super perfect. I wasn't doing it right. And that's not a good feeling to have because if you so high whenever you win, you're gonna feel so low whenever you lose. So it's like you gotta learn to just keep a balance between it. And that's just process of learning life. And that's something that you're gonna learn. If you didn't learn that yet, that if I get $1 billion today, you're gonna see me with this same face. You're not gonna see me just no. You know why? Because I realized that the $1 billion don't make me. You know what make me is the freedom that the $1 billion get. The freedom that I allow myself to have. What the $1 billion is gonna do is give me more access to more freedom. That's all. So the base of who I am, of course I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be a little excited about it, but I'm not gonna let my body get that shock to where it's like, oh, I'm just so now if I lose it, it's like, oh, I'm so depressed. No. And later you're gonna learn that down the line. So that's why I say life is a learning process. So just learn from it and grow from your mistakes and grow from your failures and just keep learning. Let life be a learning process. That leads me to the second things. Learn from books. Reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. I used to hear that a lot growing up and never really understood what it meant. But I understand what it means. Books, you can learn anything if you read books. It's all types of books. There's books on finance, confidence, life, how to get better, and books to show you're not the first to go through what you're going through. Use books to learn what you're studying or use it to understand life better. There's books on everything out there. There's books on everything out there. Once I realized that and I started reading more, once I got into the habit of reading, right? And I started reading on finances, and like at first you're not gonna, if you don't read at all, it's gonna feel weird. But once you get into the habit, you're gonna start reading more and more, and you're gonna start, if you're like me, you're gonna start getting curious about things. I'm just curious. I realized that I'm curious about everything. So you will see my book collection, and I have books about everything. Books are just about everything. And I like that because you can, one, I learned from books, you can never learn too much. Because you could learn, all right, I could learn how to do something. I could learn how to be financially well, right? But then if I read this book, I could learn a better way how to be financially well. Or I could learn something, another loophole that I missed from that this book didn't have, and this book provided me. So it's just so much things that books provide us, but they try to make it seem like, especially growing up in the hood, they try to make it seem like books is for lames, or books was uncool. Books is very cool. Books is very cool because learning is very cool because knowledge is power. And I'm not saying knowledge is power, because you can use your power for the wrong way or you can use it for the right way. God give us all power. And that's like, I'm gonna get into like a little like what I feel about energy is good and bad energy. If you put yourself in a good energy and you think with a positive heart and in a postured heart, you're gonna get everything good from what the world is gonna give to you, what God wanna give to you. But if you use your power to manipulate and do bad things, that's all you're gonna receive back in life. But let me get back, and I learned that from a book. So don't ever think that you learned it all and that you can't learn nothing new from books. I've been reading this new book called The Idiot. Let me see, it's right here. It's called The Idiot from Fedor Dostoevsky, called The Idiot, right? And I learned just like life things, like I used to think that me being nice and kind is two different things. I used to think that me being nice was just me being morally right. But then reading this book, or just like first hearing the understanding of the book, because now I'm reading it, and reading this book, it made me realize that nice people get ran over. I am kind, but I am not nice, because I would not compromise who I am for the next person ever again. No, I'm not compromising myself for you. And that's not wrong, and that's not bad. So that brings me back to my point. There's all types of books out there. There's all types of books. If you want to learn finance, how to manage your money better, there's books on that. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I gave you 3 books the other day. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you want to learn books about caring less, read the subtle art of not giving a F. That's the name of the book. If you want to read books on characteristics, I bought the whole Fedor collection, and I'm gonna start reading that, because it's like he got real like into like the philosophy of life, but he was morally sound, and he wanted to explain it. He wanted to explain life from the lens of a person that was so morally sound that he let he let the way of thinking that he should be too good affect him as a person. And I would like to learn from that, so I can learn how it affected him and how I can change certain behaviors that I have been doing in my life based off what I've learned from the past, because everybody go through the same thing. Life is a cycle. What I learned from the past and just put it in my life. You know what I'm saying? So that's the second thing right there. Learn from books. There's all types of books out there. Go get you one. Even if it's a simple book. If you have not started reading yet, just pick up a simple book. Pick up a simple book. And after you read that simple book, just grab another one. Just get in the habit of reading. And then from there, whatever you want to learn it. This brings me to my third point now. Learn from people from the past that were great. Learn from people from the past that were great. For example, I sit here a lot of times and I'll watch a lot of like great painters or great artists or great just people, great philosophers, great just anything. Because I want to pick their brain. And not pick their brain, but I just like, whenever I watch certain people, it motivates me, but it motivates me in a different way. It motivates me in the sense of like, what made them them? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's I got like three questions I ask myself. I say, what gave them the edge? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what gives these people the edge? For example, Michael Jackson, right? What gave him the edge to be so wanted? What gave him his edge? You understand what I'm saying? So I started studying him more and I started learning more things. He was into the law of attraction. He was into growing as a man. He was into being a real person with himself. He was into practicing every day, getting better every day. He was into learning life, just the laws of God. He was into not religion, God. It's so far. It's so much you can learn from other people, and then you will see like, damn. And when, especially if you on your growth and you see that you're doing certain things that you think that is not helping you, and then you see other people of the greats doing it too, you're like, hold on, I didn't get this from them, but I see me doing this right now. Like, that's what I'm doing, so I must be doing something right. So I always look at that. What gave them the edge? That's the first question I always ask myself. Then I ask myself again, what made them achieve what they achieved? What made them achieve what they achieved? I be thinking about that. Like, a lot of the times, some people achieve the unachievable. But then, you would think it's unachievable, but to them it's not. Look at Disney, Walt Disney. What made him achieve that? He had a dream, he had a goal, he had a vision in his mind that he would not let go no matter what, who, or no, or anybody told him. That's what made him achieve it. You gotta have something in your brain and you gotta just stick to it. And believe that God is gonna make it work in your life. Believe that God is going to make it work in your life. Have a vision to stick to it. Just ask these type of questions. What made him achieve what he achieved? And don't say it in an envious voice, or don't have it in a jealousy voice neither. Say it in a voice that's curious, like curiosity. Like, how? Okay, I get that, man. Like certain people, right? Certain people would say, how does Kodak Yak keep a fan base, right? Because he's real, he's raw, he's authentic. That's how. He's himself, and people feel that. Yes, he shows you his crash outs. He shows you the moments where he's going downhill, but he also shows you the moments where he's living it up too. And that's what life is about. That's what the true balance is. Learning how to balance when you're going through your lows, saying, "Oh, I'm not going to die. As long as I ain't dead, I get past it." And when you're living through your highs, saying, you know, this is life. This is what I'm expecting from life. You know what I mean? And then the third question I asked them is, what can I take from them and add to my lifestyle? What can I take from them and add to my lifestyle? Like, I'll watch videos on Basquiat, and they said Basquiat worked fast. His process of making the art was slow, but when he got into it, he worked fast. And that, like, made me question, like, what does that mean? That mean is, when we outside, right, it's so much things to be motivated by. I'm just giving you my example on that. I'm gonna get back to the main point. But it's so much things to be motivated by, so much things to just draw art from. It's so much to draw from. So while I'm outside and I'm having fun, you think that I'm having fun. I'm drawing from my environment. I'm learning. I am pulling. I'm learning. So now when I go back to create some art, I know how to express myself the way that I want to express myself, because all day I've been just taking in art, and now when it's time to let it out, pause, when it's time to just release it, It's all there already. It's all there already because I've been pulling from everywhere in the world. And that's why what he meant by his process is slow. But once he gets to the art, he worked fast. And that's what I took from him. And it's just other things you can take from anybody. Anybody. Anybody you can take from a baby. You can learn patience from a baby. But we talking about like what celebrities or people that you admire done. So just find out what you can do that it seems suitable to your life, that you can add to your life, and you know that it will serve some type of improvement into your life. And that's the third question I asked. So with that being said, let's bring it to the last point, the last point. Learn to become the person God is building you to be. Sometimes we go through hardships in life so you can change. A lot of the problems I went through taught me to trust in God and becoming who I am becoming. Because the problems actually helped me once I learned to look at life from a different perspective. So learn to trust God in whatever you're going through and trust the person He's building you to be. The reason I say learn, right, is because when you're learning to trust God, you got to learn that even if things look like it might not go your way, you got to just have that belief that it's still going to go your way, because you know that if you're doing it the right way too, and you're doing it in the right energy, that it's going to happen for you. It's going to happen for you. My process of learning how to trust God, like, y'all seen it. I documented it. I documented it. Before I even got this apartment, before I even went to the process of getting this apartment, I kept saying that I wanted to get my own. I wanted to do certain things. I wanted to have my space. I just wanted to do certain things, and God slowly but surely built me up to that. Because if I didn't go through what I went through, I felt like I wouldn't have had the chance to sit down with myself and go internally to become better and just allow Him to show me where I'm doing wrong, and not look at it like a scolding, but more looking at it like He's shaping me to become something better. When I moved into my first apartment in Atlanta, I still was the same person that I was before I moved into my apartment. So with me being the same person that I was before I moved into my apartment, I carried the same habits, I carried the same traits, I carried the same just thought patterns, I carried certain things that was bringing me down before I got my first apartment. And I realized that with this apartment, I changed completely before I even got in it. I changed who I was, because I realized that money don't make me who I am. My clothes don't make me who I am. Nothing external makes me who I am. I am who I am because I am who I am, and I am who I am because of God. You gotta feel rich within yourself before you can feel rich anywhere else, before you can be rich. I used to always hear that and try to like understand it, but then if you tell God that you want to be rich, He gonna put you through so much things, because it's not like a test, it's really molding. I feel like people get that wrong when they say test. People feel like it's a test, like, oh, God is testing you. God does not test any one of us. He knows our capabilities. He knows how far He can push us. He knows how far we can go. He knows us. With that being said, I feel like it's molding. It's molding. When I was going through hard situations, some situations that I before, like in my past, that I didn't think that I would ever go through, and I went through it, I realized that I can go through hard things and get past it. So it wasn't a test, it was a molding to mold me into the mindset of saying hard things is not hard as long as you just get things done. And in large tasks, you just break it down simply. You know what I'm saying? So Me saying that, it's me just saying that I trusted God throughout this whole process. Of course, it was days where I felt like God ain't love me. I'm like, damn, God don't love me no more, whatever the situation is. And whenever I felt like that, I still just said, you know what, God, I ain't turning my back on you. I'm not gonna turn my back on you. Like, even if I fail, even if I feel like I'm doing wrong, and I feel like it's like, oh, it make no sense, or I don't see it, I don't see the progress or whatever, I'm still gonna get up and go pray. Even if even when I was on semen retention, and I would like fall short or something, still got up and went and go pray. I felt ashamed at first. I felt ashamed, like, oh, and I still got up and prayed. But then even with that, I realized, like, God, it's a whole different thing with that. But I just realized that I had to trust God through every situation. Learning how to trust God is not a one-time thing. Because I thought I learned how to trust God because back in the days when I caught my gun charge, like I always told a story. I caught a gun charge and I had a kid tell me that you're gonna be good. Like, a kid prayed for me, and when they prayed for me the next day, the case got dropped. So with the case getting dropped now, it just opened my eyes up to God more. And I started reading the Bible, and I became real religious. And now God opened my eyes up to realize, to understand that being religious is trying to be perfect, and I'm not perfect. None of us are. So if I'm not perfect, how can I obey God? And obeying God is doing right by other people, living with love in your heart, following your dreams, killing fear, because fear is not a part of what God put into us, and just accomplishing the things that He set up on our heart, but doing it in a way where it brings Him gratitude, and you don't pervert whatever God want to put in your life, because they say money is the root of all evil. I think power is the root of. I used to say power is the root of all evil too, but now I understand it's not. It's the mindset. If you living in a mindset of evil, you got power, you're gonna do evil things. If you're living in a mindset of righteousness, and you got a clean heart, and you doing things with a right posture, you're gonna do things that please God. And I'm not saying that everything you're gonna do is perfect, or it's great, and you're looking to please God with all your actions. A lot of times when you're doing things that feel right within your heart, that's God placing it on your heart. So it's, just do things that feel right to you, that feel good to you, like righteously, you know what I mean? And move with a loving intention, but learn how to detach too. It's another thing too. Learn how to detach from anything that don't serve you well, because if you're serving something, it must serve you too. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I gave y'all some tips on don't think that you know everything. Do not stop learning. Learning is a lifelong process. Every day you're learning. It's not one day that you're not learning. And treat your brain like that. Tell your brain that every day is a learning process. Every single day. Treat life like that. Like it's a game that you're just getting experience in. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's your boy Daz, and I gave you some tips on just learning every day. And I'm going to definitely put it to action, and I hope you do too. With that being said, I'm out of here. Hey.